What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team stand up! What a year to remember. It is now December. We got Jimmy High Roller. I never thought I would see this day. Now, my prediction, what I think this video could possibly be about, LeBron is on the thumbnail title. If you haven't been tapped into the NBA, LeBron broke his streak of not hitting 10-plus points game about 3 Lakers games ago, man. And it like shook the entire world. It even had me so shook, I was even about to throw out those WASHED allegations to LeBron. But then he responded back with a 30-piece nearly triple-double and shut me up. But let's check it out. Let's see what he has.
What does the iPhone, Facebook, the OKC Thunder, Kevin Durant's NBA career, and #1 NBA prospect AJ Debinsa have in common? It's quite the odd group of miscellaneous things, only related in one specific way. And based on the title and thumbnail of this video, you've probably figured it out by now. None of these things existed when LeBron's record-breaking 10-point streak began. It's a streak that's been going on for nearly 20 years. One of those things you legitimately thought you'd never see come to an end. But on Thursday night, it finally did.
But, bro, I'm not even trying to rage bait. If I was in the NBA, nigga, I'm dropping at least 10 a game. I genuinely think that a lot more NBA players should have did that, especially like Steph, Chef, look at Curry, man. You know, but like, you feel me? We think about the team first. Curry got more rings and shit. You know, that's why he's a better player. I'm just saying.
That began before many NBA fans were even born has finally came to a conclusion. And the final number is so ridiculous, it is a record that will never, ever be broken.
I mean, somebody gonna break it. Wemby gonna break it.
Today's video
is
just
gotta stay healthy.
With over 2 sports and the best tickets for deals. Right now, give me 10 to use that link. After 19 seasons, 7,273 days, and 1,297 games, a monumental streak that never seemed like it would ever end came to an end. For the first time since January 5th, 2007, LeBron James scored less than 10 points in a regular season game on Thursday night. And in the most poetic way imaginable, with the game and a near 2-decade-long streak on the line and the opportunity to keep his streak alive, LeBron James passed out of the last shot to find the open man in the corner for the game winner.
I mean, hey, I ain't gonna lie. Genuinely speaking, like, even though it's just a regular season game, no glaze, you gotta kind of give LeBron some type of a credit, because it just shows if anybody ever wants to throw like some type of like, oh, like LeBron's a stat pad or all he cares about is stats. This game right here proved that that's far from it. You know what I'm saying? And it speaks volumes, because bro's 40. He really shouldn't even care, even if people wanted to even think about him stat padding at this point of his career. He really don't got that much to honestly prove and shit like that. And he's still, you feel me, like, hey, I don't care about this 10-point. I could have kept the streak going and could have kept it going up until I retired. But look, someone was open in the corner like a prosty.
The
and
most
he hit the
likely
3.
conclusion to a streak that was unlikely to ever end. When asked about the bittersweet reality of his streak coming to an end, LeBron's response was short and to the point.
What feelings did you have, if any?
Bro didn't even take a sip of the water, bro.
None. We won.
And now that we've seen the conclusion to this 1,297 game long saga, I would like to take the time to dive into just how remarkable and how unbreakable LeBron's 10-point scoring streak really is. Just how long is 1,297 games? Well, with the recent news of the Clippers cutting Chris Paul from the roster, LeBron's 10-point scoring streak is officially longer than the
Curry has a point streak. Yo, what the fuck? Look at all these other players I didn't even expect. Bro, is this Taj Gibson? He scored 10 points 1,000 plus times. Drew Holiday, Brooke Lopez. Yo, okay. Now, bro, and fam, who the fuck are these players above Al Horford? Bro, respectfully, it's not that. I genuinely think it's not hard to score 10 points if you're in the league, bro. Especially if you playing at least 25 minutes when you were healthy, when you were playing, dog.
Careers of every single
Is that Kyle McConley and Michaels? Is that Jeff Green?
Player in the NBA.
Westbrook's valid.
Outside of course, LeBron himself. The most career games played among active players not including LeBron is held by Russell Westbrook A player
Really?
so old that he was a part of the OKC Thunder's inaugural season in the NBA with 1,260 career games.
Wow.
How unbreakable is LeBron's record? Well, even if the longest tenured player in the entire league outside of LeBron scored at least 10 points in every single game of his career, it still wouldn't be enough to break LeBron's record.
Wow.
Now, the player with the second longest
they had
streak in
Draymond
NBA
Green
history
last, so I
is
like how they
none
have him
other
last.
than Michael Jordan, who began his streak all the way back in 1986, retired, returned to the NBA, continued his streak, retired again, came back again, and finally fell short of 10 points in 2001 at the ripe age of
See, if MJ didn't retire to go to baseball, he definitely would have.
38 and was still 431 games shy of LeBron.
Crazy thing is, like, to imagine MJ dropping under 10 points, even like this when he was with the Wizards, like 37-ish or something like that. That's actually kind of fucking like just awkward and just it don't even sit right. Like, you know what the funny thing is? I actually low-key feel like I remember when LeBron had less than 10 points. Tell me that I got some real ball knowledge. So LeBron, I believe, had like 9 or 10 points when he was playing on the Cavs when it was like 07 season, right? And it was like the orange Cavs alternates. They're actually one of my top 5 favorite NBA jersey alternate uniforms. And I believe he had like 9 or 10 points that game, if not mistaken. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I do remember him having like damn near almost like less than 10 points or even less than 10 points. Because I was in like 7th grade and I was watching the highlights on ESPN before I had to go catch the bus. And bro, them Cavs jerseys caught me. I'm like, yo, these Cavs jerseys fire as hell.
Record.
Elite ball knowledge reacts though.
How much longer MJ would have had to play to break LeBron?
Bro, MJ had 6 points on a 2 of 10 in 25 minutes.
If he continued his streak dating back
But who was
to
they
much
playing?
longer, MJ would have
Indiana? Was that when Jermaine O'Neal ain't go till he was... Nah, he was on the team back then. Yeah. The reason why he ain't dropped 10 points to Jermaine O'Neal was on the team, nigga. No bullshit.
If he continued his streak dating back to 1986 through 2001, scored at least 10 points in every single game.
Okay, look. That's last time pausing, by the way. Yo, I honestly think there's going to be an NBA... You got to think about it. The technology is developing, bro. Like, there's NBA players coming back from ACL and MCL injuries and playing one-on-ones and shit like that in practice like 3-5 months down the line. Bro, imagine what the technology going to look like in the next 10 years. Niggas is going to have ACL and MCL tears and Achilles tears and be back within the next 3 weeks. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, there's going to be an NBA player that's going to, like, kind of get lucked out with getting injured and being able to come back, you know what I'm saying, and not having any regression in his talent and stuff, and just flawlessly beat this. Like, give it about like 5 or 10 years, there's going to be an NBA player that's going to have like a 2,500 game streak of 10 plus points, just off the basis of the technology improving.
Following season, and the next season, and the season after that, and the season after that, the season after that, and the season after that one, he would finally surpass LeBron's record by 2007. In fact, JJ Redick, the head coach of the Lakers, will be the first to tell you how incredible LeBron's record is. Because on the exact day LeBron last scored single-digit points, JJ Redick suited up in just the 8th game of his NBA career, which means Redick began his career in the NBA, played 15 seasons in the league, retired from basketball, ran a successful podcast for 3 years, and became the man's head coach, all while LeBron maintained his streak. But with LeBron's streak now over, we can begin to look ahead and see if there's anyone who even has a chance to grab this record for themselves. With all the incredible scorers in the league today, Durant, Shea, Luka, Giannis, I'm sure there's someone who has a decent streak going right now. 267. The next closest active streak is Kevin Durant with 267 games. Do y'all remember this shot? The toe on the line, a career-altering moment for Durant. It's been quite some time since we witnessed this, and yet this shot happened 2 months after Durant's current 10-point scoring streak began, back in 2021. And considering he's 37 years old in his 17th NBA season, I think it's safe to say he will not be breaking this record. So let's look ahead to the next player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a perfect candidate for a record like this. Shai's current streak stands at 170 games, which means that if Shai plays every single game moving forward and scores at least 10 points in all of those games, he is on track to break LeBron's record midway through the 2039 NBA season at the age of 41.
Bro, 2038, 2039 sounds crazy.
Of the 10 longest active streaks in the league today, and you still wouldn't have enough to break LeBron's record. But it is just 10 points after all. There are countless players who can score 10 without breaking a sweat. So how exactly does one player build such an insurmountable lead on every other player to ever suit up? Well, because you not only need to be skilled and consistent enough to score 10 points every single game, you have to be lucky enough to not get hurt. And you also need to be gimmicky enough to even want to keep the streak going in the first place. To keep up with a record like this, essentially, a player cannot sustain an injury in the first half of any game at any point in their career. Giannis had a streak that got up to 171 games just a few nights ago, the third longest active streak in the NBA. But then he unfortunately went down with an injury just 3 minutes into their game against the Pistons, and his streak was snapped. Back in 2021, injury. James Harden's streak was up to 450 games, until he tweaked his hamstring on this play just 5 minutes into a game against the Knicks. He would end up leaving the game, sitting out the rest of the contest, and his streak came to an end. Back in 2023, Luka Doncic had a streak of 211 games, but spun his way into an ankle sprain, left the game in the first quarter after scoring 0 points, and ended his streak. In 2017, Kevin Durant had the misfortune of being teammates with Zaza Pachulia, who just 10 minutes into a game against the Wizards went barreling into KD's knee while he was in the midst of the 5th longest 10-point streak in the history of the league. Needless to say, when a 7-footer makes your leg bend the wrong way, you don't come back into the game. And your 562-game streak of 10-point games comes to an end. Most of the time, beating a record like this is a matter of luck, or rather, not having enough of it. But even if you do get lucky enough to not get injured, you still have to put 10 points on the board. Something that, as easy as it may come to some players, is nearly impossible to do hundreds of times in a row. In 2019, Damian Lillard's streak of 230 games came to an end as he failed to score 10 points in a game against the Raptors. He put up 12 shots, got to the line a couple times, but after 3 years of not having an off night, he finally did have one. Same thing happened to Karl Anthony Towns in 2021, was balling out for 172 straight games, and then just laid an egg in game 173. Played 31 minutes, took 11 shots, but just failed to hit double digits. Steph Curry is one of the most lethal scorers in NBA history, and yet he has scored single-digit points 3 times in the past year. So not only do you have to stay healthy, you also can't afford to have a single bad scoring night at all for a very, very long time. And even if you manage to do all of that, you will still not approach this record unless you're willing to pull a few stunts to keep it going. The number of times LeBron scored less than 10 points from January 6, 2007 to December 3rd, 2026, 0. The number of times he scored just enough to keep the streak alive in that same time span, 24. A statistical improbability? Maybe. Going out of his way to keep the streak alive? Yeah, probably. As the years went along and this streak became more absurd, the look of relief on LeBron's face as he crossed the 10-point threshold in close calls became more apparent. Like in 2018 in a game against the Knicks, where LeBron tweaked his ankle but stayed in the game for another minute to score exactly 10 points, and then checked out of the game for good 50 seconds later in the first quarter. And what about this game?
Nigga, that's some stat padded shit.
When Solomon Hill attempted to go for a loose ball and instead eviscerated LeBron's ankle. LeBron was rolling around on the ground, hollering in agonizing pain, clearly in no shape to return to this game. And yet he did. To hit this three-pointer 7 seconds later, giving him his 10th point of the night, and then checking out of the game for good on the very next possession.
Wow.
And then, of course, there was the Lakers versus Suns game less than a week ago, where LeBron was struggling all night, but stayed in a blowout game just long enough to score exactly 10 points before immediately subbing out and not returning to the game.
That's funny.
Just like every other impossibly long streak in sports, there is, of course, a few manufactured moments to keep the streak going. A small price to pay for a record that will never be touched for the rest of time.
Hey, man, how long do you think, and what NBA player, whether they're in the league right now or not in the league yet, or maybe a future player or whatever, when do y'all think it's going to be broken, bro? I'm going to predict maybe by, like, the 2030s, it could be possible, bro. But until then, yo, LeBron low-key has that record sealed.